What's going on, Taurus? And welcome to my channel, Alchemist. Excuse me. Justin here, and I hope you're having a great week so far. So, for those of you who are returning, welcome back, Soul Tribe. I appreciate your subscriptions, your likes, and shares. Your support really is just epic, Taurus. And it keeps us growing. And for those of you who are new, welcome. I'm happy how yourself has brought you here. We're in for an amazing journey. Because it's General Energy Weekly Spread. Yeah, you digging that, Taurus? But with this weekly spread, whenever you happen to come across this video, there may be some messages in here for you. I promise I'm going to be able to spit this out in a second. And just so you're all aware, this is a general reading, not a one-to-one. So take what resonates with you, leave the rest with me, and never force a reading on a situation, okay? So with all that being said, let's jump into it. Your space has been cleansed. Crystals, feeling lovely. Just great energy all around here, Taurus. Now I'm going to pull a few oracle cards from this deck here, and then we'll get some details with the tarot. But before we jump into this thing, these readings that I do, they're not gender-specific readings, so apply these energies to people as they make sense for your situations, okay? And in case if y'all were curious, the decks that I'm working with, I've included links for them down in the description box below, so definitely check that out if you're interested. But also down below some links for some other readers that I like watching, Taurus, so definitely check them out. Very intuitive group. I think you'd enjoy them. But let's go ahead and get into your first card here. Oh, and look at you taking aim, because you got the 5th card of Aries, which is Slingshot card. I don't know if I've ever used a slingshot, Taurus. And with this card, this is a card of tension, strain, sudden, anxiety, pressure, launch, stressed, pull, set in motion, focus, begin, force, change, pulled in opposite directions, and ready, aim, and fire. An energy that's coming through here, Taurus, is the anxiety. And, you know, I feel like when it comes to anxiety, I'm thinking about maybe for some, it's like there are a lot of future things that we might be kind of worried about. Maybe it's just like we're anxious about, maybe we're waiting to hear back as far as like some news for something, or maybe we're worried about, anxious about bills, or maybe we might even just be anxious about about maybe how relationships are going to be going, like how life is going. Like I feel like there's a lot of like maybe for some there's this future thinking that's going down, and I feel like when you find yourself in that when that state of just like really or just overly anxious, is like what can we do in the present in order to kind of alleviate some of that pressure from the future? Because like for example, let's say this is like a bills thing. If we got our bills set up, paid off this month, sure, we may not know how we're going to do it next month, but right now, that's not something that we need to necessarily worry about. And in that capacity, it's just like instead of worrying about the thing, it's like I feel like it's like we can take that energy and channel that into the action, because what happens in the future is really just a reflection of what is happening in the present. We're living the future every single moment, and there's a lot of things I feel like that we can feel kind of anxious about. Maybe even for some. But let's say I'm about to get all over the place. But and that might be something too, maybe Taurus. We're trying to keep our minds in locked here, but then it just starts to scatter a little bit. But I feel that it's just like, if we can find different techniques to kind of like ground ourselves in the present, then I feel like that can kind of help kind of alleviate some of that stuff a little bit, so that we can see these energies from a different perspective. Whether it's bills, any sort of future things, or maybe even some sort of like present things that we might even be about. It's just like what can we do about them? I feel like it helps kind of prioritize things a little bit better, so that we're not in that sort of reactive or impulsive type of energy there, Taurus. Now I'm even getting an energy for some that there's this anxiety maybe with like maybe where we're at right now as far as like our security in a sense. Maybe we're feeling I'm just thinking about where Jupiter is at right now and where Uranus has been over the last, 7 years. It's like, or about the last like 5 years or so, because I think I want to say, we got a couple more years with that. But it's just like maybe there's just been a lot of changes to your foundation. I feel yours is a sign that likes that stability. And I feel like it's like maybe we're again, it's still giving me that futures thinking. It's just like we're like this energy of like when's the rug going to be pulled up from underneath us in a sense, or that's just like that something is going to potentially collapse, or it's giving me very sort of like one of your cards actually, the Five of Pentacles, which is Mercury in your sign, Mercury in Taurus. And that deals with that, thinking about that security, taking a moment, kind of slowing down a little bit. Because again, I feel that due to this anxiety, that maybe for some it's just like we've been feeling kind of antsy, and it's just like we're not sure what to do. Either we're reactive or we're stuck. And I feel like this anxiety, it's anxiety is not one, I feel like it's not meant to be an enemy in a sense. Anxiety is meant to be something that fuels us into action, but it's just that we got to process, but really get down to the root cause of what is causing this anxiety. Is this a person? Is this maybe the things that we're listening to? Where's the source of that? But let me get some tarot on this and get some details. Taurus, we got these cards here. Thank you. And then let's see what's going on here. Interesting. Alright, Taurus. Let's see. Let me get this in order here. So you have the Two of Swords, the King of Wands, and then the Star card in reverse. And then we have the Fool, the Queen of Swords, the Four of Cups, and then the Sun card upright. And I feel this is where we're kind of at, Taurus, right now. Where maybe for some, this anxiety has gotten us where we're not sure where to go next. Like it's just like we're in the face of disaster, because this Two of Swords is doing a lot. You got a Hydra back here. There's a whirlpool going on. Everything's on fire. Yeah, and it feels that this is, it's like either there's something that we're and either something that we're healing from, maybe like a tower moment or something, where like either like a foundation or something has shifted in a way that we're either healing from. And not that to say that there's something going to happen to you, Taurus, but I do feel like it's either we're processing something that's happened right now, or it's just like it's almost like we're preparing this. It's almost like this doom type of energy. It's just like we're anticipating, like, well, if this happens, then what am I going to possibly, like, really kind of worst case scenario thinking, as opposed to it's pretty intense kind of what's coming through here, Taurus. And I feel that there's this energy of, with the Fool being here, it's just like that, because this is Uranus energy. And again, Uranus is in your sign so it's 2 more years before Uranus moves out of your sign. And there's been a lot of changes over these last 5 years, with Uranus having moved into your sign. How we go about doing a lot of things, from how we work to how we, with everything that happened with, like, just everything that has happened. There's a lot, I feel like, in order to think of, there's a lot to think about, but I feel like the Queen of Swords is that clarity that's needed to come through, to like try to find maybe something to do in order to, again, kind of bring this sense of calm, this sense of peace, this sense of, and really kind of see this anxiety for, or like kind of seeing things for what it really, or just like kind of seeing more clearly in a sense. It's like we're so focused on these cups here, of like losing all of these things, that we're not paying attention to like the beauty that's all around in a sense. It's just like, how do I want to put that? This is a better way of putting that. It's it's like we can get so focused on, like, and I get it with you being an earth sign, it's like we can get so focused on like how this guy's focused on the material things, that it's not that we don't appreciate the beauty that's going on outside here, but it's just it's fleeting. It's like it keeps constantly changing, and I feel like we're trying to find security in, which like we're trying to anchor ourselves to something that, like, maybe for some it's like it could be materials, this could be money, this could be status, this could be whatever this is, and it's just like if we stay in that place of lack, then that's what's always going to happen here. And then let me get a little bit more on this, on the sun here, Taurus. I think I'm gonna get some on the sun and the Four of Cups here, Taurus. Let me see what's going on with that. Oh, and there you are, Taurus. Oh, and there's that tower. Interesting. Let me get some on the Four of Cups, and we're gonna talk about that, Taurus. Hmm. All right, Taurus. So let's talk about the sun first, because the Hierophant, popped up in reverse here, and then we got the Tower upright. And this is what I was feeling, Taurus. It's just like that, and it's just, I feel like that it's like maybe for some, this what this sun is saying, that whatever this Tower moment that has happened, or, and not to say that anything devastating is going to happen in the future, Taurus, but change is inevitable. It's going to change, and that can bring about anxiety, because we're not sure maybe how things are going to change, and how we're, what if we, what's our game plan going to be? I feel like it's like we want to be try to be over prepared with the King of Wands, but we can only plan for so much. It's like it's kind of going along with the journey, and but I feel that there's something here that is like either has rocked you, or something that is like we're anticipating something that's coming, and it's like it's almost like we're manifesting this tower moment. Like, I feel there's a need to connect within, Taurus, and this kind of channel, especially if you've just been really kind of feeling off, because I will say your energies have been just kind of weird in an unusual place here the last, I'd say honestly, last month. And we're getting ready to get into Scorpio season here soon. Granted, we still got a little while for Libra, but the planets are going to start moving into your opposite sign, Scorpios, and Mars rules over Scorpio. And there's going to be some stuff that is going to kind of maybe rocky a little bit, because that's forming an opposition with your sign. But I don't feel like it has to be where it's like where I don't feel like there's a need for that to necessarily stress us out in the sense, because I feel like now let's move to the Four of Cups, because I feel like again it's like that we're so worried on things happening, that's affecting our ability to manifest. That is taking away from our resources. And from us to being able to, it's taken away from our like adaptability in a sense, because the Magician here, Mercury, rules over both Gemini and Virgo. Both mutable signs, both very intelligent, and you're very intelligent, Taurus. And I get to say that is because, and it's interesting that we're talking about Mercury and Taurus, five of coins here, because here both those cards are. But it feels that it's just like if we focus on this thing, we're gonna miss on or not be able to make the most of the tools that the universe is kind of presenting to you, if we're kind of thinking more with a clear head here, Taurus. This is quite a bit. I think I'm gonna move out of that, but just something to, something to think about, but not something I feel like to stress yourself out about, Taurus. But let's get some tea, maybe calm our nerves a little bit, and let's get your next card. Thank you. All right, Taurus. So you got the fourth card of Capricorns, which is the roadblock card. And see, challenges just popping up all over the place. But it's fine, because this is a card of block change, barriers, challenges, time to regroup, stuck, paralyzed, obstacles, stalling, temporary setback, take a detour, not right now, one step forward and two steps back. An energy that's coming through here, Taurus, is a time to regroup. And it's like maybe something has happened here, Taurus, where it's just like, it's either something had happened where it's like it really kind of, again, maybe kind of caught us off guard, maybe kind of floored us in the sense, or it's just like we're realizing that maybe something's coming up and we're not as prepared, King of Wands in reverse, as we would like to be. And I feel like this is, this card here is just saying, again, like kind of doing the Queen of Swords energy and just taking a time and just kind of gather yourself, because when we get in that sort of panic state, then we get reactive, and then it's just like that's a tough foundation to be operating on. There's, and Taurus, this might be something too where, because the star card can be, it's Aquarius energy. It deals with friends, or they deal with friends and groups, and it can be a card of unexpected help. And maybe this is something where we need to possibly reach out and ask for some help. Take time to regroup, and because there might be this realization that, like, maybe we don't know what we're doing in a situation. It's just like, I really don't know how to handle that. And sometimes there, even though that can be scary, not having all those answers, so there's freedom, I feel like, in that, because when we're trying to just like kind of force this thing to try to figure this stuff out here, and not being open to maybe different perspectives and things, is just like we keep kind of digging ourselves a hole and deeper and deeper and deeper. Whereas if we were to just kind of reach out maybe to someone that whom we trust, or who can bring some clarity or something to the situation here, maybe it might not make the it just may make the situation not seem as intense as it could be. But keeping that energy bottled up, though, I feel like it's just going to just create this inner turmoil that gets you to where we start fearing the future, and like start fearing making moves and things along those lines, and embracing change there. But let's get some tarot on this. Thank you. All right, Taurus. So you have the Nine of Coins and the Six of Swords here. And that's interesting there, Taurus. Because I feel like for some, it's like with the Six of Swords here, it feels like that there's this fear, I feel like, for some, that it's just like that. It's like we may need to make a decision, possibly, that's because, with the Six of Swords, this mother and her child, they're just going out with the clothes on their back. They hopped in some sort of chest here. How that's floating, we're not sure, but they hopped in this chest here, and they're floating on to new shores here, the new, because it's like, it feels like this energy it's like there's something here where it feels like that we haven't been able to like work on ourselves in a sense. It's like that we've gotten in this place of comfort, this place of stagnancy, and it's time to start something new, but it's like we're resisting this tower energy, this need to take this energy and take this leap towards either like a new opportunity, or maybe there's something that I'm gonna get a little bit more with this Nine of Coins here, Taurus. Because this is the Nine of Coins. This is Venus and Virgo, and Venus is about to move into Virgo soon. And this is a good game planning, kind of a good regrouping, and because maybe we found for some, maybe we feel like we haven't invested like we could, or whether this be in ourselves or maybe in our finances, or yeah, let me see what's going on with that before I get into that, Taurus. Interesting, Taurus. So the Nine of Coins is clarified by the Seven of Wands upright, and then you have the Eight of Cups and the Six of Cups in reverse. And this is kind of changing things a little bit, because it feels that there's this energy of needing to move on from something. An energy that I feel that it could be possibly even like a codependent energy, possibly, or so, and take that as it resonates. It's like we're so used to things like being in the way they were, but it's like the Eight of Cups is like there's like this energy of needing to let that go in a sense. And I almost feel like that maybe for some it's like we've been maybe criticized for that, as far as just like, or maybe we've been getting advice from people, possibly we've been hearing that, like, like Taurus, there's this push to kind of like needing to get out of whatever this old way of operating is. But it's like we're it's like in order to protect ourselves in a way, it's like we're not listening in a sense. It's different how the Seven of Wands is kind of coming through like that. And I do feel like that we want to be careful about getting kind of, because listen, I know where people will say that Taurus is a stubborn sign, but it's all fixed signs that have that stubbornness, especially when you have a lot of fixed energy. I have a bunch of fixed energy in my chart, but that doesn't mean that that is just like it is what it is. We can't. I feel like we want to be careful about that, because getting locked into something like that, because it because I feel like that this Seven of Wands, it almost feels like that. It's like we're trying to protect ourselves from something, but it doesn't feel that these people who might be, for example, are giving this advice are doing this to come at you. It doesn't feel like that. It feels more so just like trying to give this advice, but it's just like we're just sticking to our guns here, and we're anxious about it, and we're not. But it's like cutting your nose to spite your face, in a sense. Is this kind of energy that's coming through there, and I'm. Yeah, something I feel like it's trying to needing to change here, Taurus. If we're not mindful of that, it's going to tower moments are going to happen to us, as opposed to making tower moments, initiating a tower, initiating that change, realizing the foundation is not rocky, and manifesting something new here. And otherwise we're going to stay in reverse. All right, Taurus. All right, I think that's all I got there for that. Let's get your last card here. Interesting. All right, so you got the fourth card of Aquarius here, which is the corset card. And with this card, this could be a card of held together, boundaries, restriction, prim and proper, following rules, structured, buttoned up, perfect posture, holding it together, support, shapeshift, and people pleaser. And the energy that's coming through here, Taurus, is to hold it together. You know, Taurus, I won't put this all on you. Maybe this is something where this is someone that we may be dealing with as well. But regardless, it feels that there is this energy of trying to keep this all kind of held together here. But it's just like I really feel like there is a, like if things have, if we've been anxious and stuff has been kind of falling apart here, and it's just been kind of one tower after another, and it's like energies are like kind of forcing you into these Fool energies to like start, because I feel like this Fool is giving me this, like it's giving me reactive energy in a sense. It's like we're leaping before we look. And I feel like there's one thing to kind of have to, you know, figure things out as you go, but it's like we have no sort of game plan, period. You know, it's just this very reactive energy. We're trying to keep it all, you know, trying to hold it all together. But it feels like that the more, it's like with the, it's like I'm imagining like a ship with holes in its boat. It's like you plug in one hole and then like another leak happens. You try to plug in that one and then you got two more that spring up, and it's just like, it's a lot. It's a lot, and maybe we've even been, and I almost feel like for some with the Six of Cups, it's like I feel like maybe in the past we've been used to having to operate by ourselves and have to try to figure this thing out as we go, and not wanting to share this with anyone, maybe, you know, as far as like how to get through this, or however this might be looking. But I feel like that this way of operating, or however things have been going down, it's you or maybe a person we're dealing with. It doesn't feel like it's being, the structure feels precarious right now, and it's like it's, excuse me. Let me get some tarot on this and get your let's get some tarot on this, Taurus. I was thinking about the Death card. Interesting. There's your opposite sign, Scorpio. A little bit more. That's interesting with the Death card. Let's talk about that for a second, because the Death card in reverse is resisting change, and we can learn a lot from our opposite signs. Hold on. All right. So let me tell you what's going on here before I get into that. So you have the Death card, and the King of Coins in reverse, and then you have the Devil and the Eight of Wands upright. And let's switch back over here, Taurus, because this feels like with the Death card, it's like we're resisting change. You know, and I feel like I've been saying this a lot. We can learn a lot from our opposite signs, where you are a very structured sign. You know, one of security, one of stability. You know, one of, you know, that needs that solid foundation. You can still have all of that, but there is a need to be adaptable. You know, there still need to be because life can throw you some unpredictable things. Uranus energy, the Fool, it's Uranus brings radical change, you know, however that's looking. It's never quite planned. It's just always just like bam, and it's always like not even out of left field. It's coming from above. It's like, you know, Uranus is a little wild like that. But I do feel like that things with the Eight of Wands have been happening really fast, and we've been kind of pulled all over the place. It's very shaky here, and we're something. It feels like this resistance to change is getting into where it's becoming harmful, Taurus, and it's like, and I don't mean in like a I mean, like for like just like your health, as far as like a lot of stress, under that state of anxiety all the time. That's, when you're in that energy of just like flight, and just like, or just like needing to move and move and move and not having, just like it's like snakes on fire. It's a lot. It's a lot to deal with. But back to where I was talking about your security. You're being assigned a security and things. Where Scorpio is meant, I feel like, to learn to how do you find that security in the change. And I feel like it's the same. It's a similar type of thing. They're used to that change, that needing to be adaptable like that at a higher vibration. And I feel like yours is like it's meant to, how do we embrace the change, and how does our security evolve in the sense. And theirs is just like how can we establish this with something that's constantly, it's the same, but it's similar, but it's different, you know. And this could be, and this might be like a, I'm getting a financial thing just because the King of Coins is a very abundant figure, but both you and Scorpio are very, you're good with finances, and but the fact that they're both in reverse, it's just like, it feels like that something is off there, and it's just like, but yeah, we want to be careful about resisting this change or not being able to go with the flow, because it's just going to mess up your, it's going to mess up a lot of things, Taurus, before, I feel like these things are only going to go down before they go up if we don't get eyes on this stuff and seeing that we're trying to, you're trying to hold it together, but sometimes you just, like I was saying earlier, just sometimes just even that admittance to like the universe. I was even thinking with the Hierophant. He's a bridge between, because you're very intuitive, Taurus, and being the husband to the high priest or high priestess, or however that manifests. It's not gender specific reading, but I feel like there's a need to kind of connect with your sources and just kind of have that admittance to yourself, like, I don't know what's going on. Like, I don't like, I need help. I need some kind of help or something. That's surrendering to the universe in a sense, And there's power in that, Taurus. And it may not solve the problem right now, but at least we're not just keeping that bottled up or trying to keep it held together. It might be a lot to deal with, so deal with it as it makes sense. But I do feel like it's something that it may need to be faced. But all right, I think I'm gonna leave that there, Taurus. Whew. But if anything resonated with you, give it a thumbs up, and share this, Taurus, because this is a lot to deal with, especially whether it's you, if this is someone we know who's dealing with something like this. Just to let them know that, like, maybe that could be a sign, just like, hey, I've been kind of noticing something. Maybe watch this and tell me what you think about it, and you want to share some things, and maybe provide that security for someone else there, Taurus. Something to think about, but and then subscribe if you haven't already, you Hierophant. Hit that bell button and you'll get notified when I release videos each week. And then lastly, if you have any Cancer in your placement, Sun, Moon, Rising, come on over to the Charity Friends. I'm not going to think that hard about it. Just come on over to the Charity Friends. I do videos Monday through Friday there. We discuss lunar shenanigans, and we love your energy over there, Taurus. I feel like Cancers and Taurus, we have quite a bit in common, and our ruler's exalted in your sign, so the moon loves you. And here's Rhonda. You get to meet Rhonda. It's a good old time. All that housekeeping, it's down in the description box below. But let me get your surprise cards here, so I can get you out of here, Taurus. You got the Queen of Wands here, in reverse, and Wifey, and that's even interesting too. Because maybe this is like a team effort. Maybe things are kind of crashing down together. Maybe we're both trying to hold it together, but both parties don't know what to do, and there's a need to maybe communicate if this is something we're dealing with a relationship here. Maybe both energies are been just kind of reactive, and so that's something to think about there, Taurus. But I do feel that there is, with the Queen of Wands being here, there is a need to just kind of slow down a little bit, because she's a hot little spitfire. She just kind of jumps. Especially I feel like in a panic state, she's just manifesting mindlessly, and we want to be careful about that. That you just, because that's expending a lot of energy, and then you're going to find yourself wore out, and then tired and stressed. You know, it's just like definitely I feel like it's the energy of needing to regroup there, Taurus, and because otherwise, I mean, she's got a Pele. She's the goddess of, I want to say goddess of volcanoes, something along those lines. But it's like a pressure cooker. It feels like things are about to pop off here in a minute. But let me get your oracle card here so I can get you out of here, Taurus. Get you thinking. This has been going on quite a bit, Taurus. You got the clean it up card here. And that's what it feels like this is needing right now. I feel like you need to take a I haven't decided. I think this is an elk, but I love saying moose. So we're gonna call him a moose. And I feel like there's a need to just kind of do some kind of internal cleanup right now to kind of take stock in as far as like what's going on here, how did all this mess kind of happen here, and what can we do? Where can we start in order to get things moving again? And it's like you don't have to have it all tackled. What makes sense right now, and then let's start there. But I do feel like there's just a need to start, and then as you start cleaning things up, the clarity is going to start coming through there, and then you're going to be able to, that weight is going to come off, and then we're going to be really, and it might be a process, it's going to be something I feel like you definitely going to need to be patient with the Hierophant being here, but that's not saying that it's impossible. It absolutely is. So I think I'm going to leave that there, Taurus. So something to think about, but you stay safe out there. These anxieties, this just trying to keep it all together. Just be safe out there, Taurus. Raise your vibration through the roof. Do some self-care. Whatever that's looking like, Taurus. And I will catch you on the next one. Later.